tables, right? In the case of multiple tables, it is quite challenging if you mess up with this relationship. Mistakenly, if you remove this, or mistakenly, if you remove it, and then when you create a relationship between some other columns, right? Irrelevant columns between the two tables, you are gone. Right? So for that purpose, to have a centralized control, what they do is they will the data model developer, right? So they are the one create everything like this, create relationship, then they publish it on cloud, and then they will share this file. Hey guys, you need the data from so and so tables, and we already created the relationship. This is the file name, and you can go ahead and pick up from the cloud with your credentials. For all the developers, they would have given you the login credentials to the cloud. So this is the one. So I'm talking about Power BI service. But in the enterprise, right, they might give you the Azure cloud itself access. They will give you some server name and port number and all. You need to connect it there. So, but again, so you can use this one also to post your or publish your report on cloud. So this is my dashboard. Okay, so this is what the workspace. So why workspaces are required? Using workspaces, we can collaborate our reports and dashboards with other users, okay, within the same organization. If I want to share my reports to others, I can share it. For example, this is the dashboard I already published it. When I select it, this is the one published by me. I developed this report and I just published on cloud in the workspaces, right? On cloud, we have something like workspaces. There I published it. So what I do is I can look here. I have something called share access. When I do this one, share, right? Share option, for example. So here I have, I give like this. And if I click send, this report link will be shared to you. Let's say you are part of my company. And what I do is this report, I will share it to you. We are all working together, right? And you wanted to see even you want to see the report, what I develop, right? So in that case, I can share it with this option, okay, in the workspace. Or if I want to export in PowerPoint or PDF or store it in Excel file, this report, that is also possible, okay? So that is possible. And we have edit option. Let's say I have an edit option. I can change whatever thing that I wanted. I can make changes to see whatever we do it here in the Power BI desktop locally in our laptop. That same thing you can do it on cloud also. You don't have to install the software here. Okay. So here, let's assume that you have published it here, and later on you realize that, hey, I need to add some other functionality here, right? You can go and do something like this. We can add some more visualization also here, like how we did it there. Here also we can do it. But only the beauty of this one, right? Any people across the globe can access your report, and you can also modify whatever the changes you make it, right? As soon as you make it, that can be seen by others also. But if you do it everything in your laptop, and if you make any changes in your laptop, how others can see it instantly? It will take time for them to see whatever the changes that you make it. Okay. So here, whatever I developed it, right? I just share this. So let's say I shared the link. What you do is, the file name, everything. And then what you do is, right, you just select Power BI datasets. And then it will see, since I already opened some file, right? I'm not able to open it, or I'll redo the same thing. Okay. I think all of you must remember. Those of you attended my last session should be able to remember it. So these are the important thing when it comes to in the case of interview, or even if you get into a project, they expect you to develop reusable components also. Reusability should be there. The same table, let's say for a project, there are, they identify 10 tables. All the 10 tables, right? Let's say I have 5 developers. 5 developers, they no need to upload or import all the 10 tables redundantly, right? So they don't have to do it redundantly. Simply what you do is you just connect here, go to the already, we have published the reports. So 10 reports, 10 tables are there. Why you need to reload it again? Already we have uploaded it there. You can use Power BI data sets option here. You just select this one. It will take some time, but when you use Power BI data, you cannot use any other thing. Okay. So this is the one I want to use it. Yeah, look here, the data set, we got the data set here. So now we got the data set. If you go here, see on top of this, you can see something blue color, right? You cannot do anything here. So look here, when I right click on this, you have an option like select columns, collapse or external. That's all. You don't have option like delete from, like in the here. In my local system, delete from model, it is not there here. The reason is they wanted to have a centralized control. I don't want to allow everyone to make changes to the model. In case of any changes to the model, only one person has to do that, and then he has to publish it on cloud. This is my cloud. Okay. So what you do is, if anybody in my project, 5 developers are working, so they don't have the pain of importing it here, creating the relationship between tables. Simply go ahead and import whatever the other person developed it. You are all set. You have the data. You have all the columns that are required to develop your report. And also data is also available here. What you can do is simply go ahead and create the charts or the visuals. You can create the visuals here. You can, just drag and drop the visuals, and then just drag and drop the columns that you wanted to do to, generate the report. That's all. PBA data sets. So the point here is, this is what reusable. In real time, you should say, once we develop the model, we deploy it on cloud. So what we do is we use Power BI data sets to import it. Basically, we wanted to have a centralized control, and also we don't want to redo the same thing, because all the 5 report developers, though the report requirements are different, all the 5 developers are relying on these 10 tables. See, in this case, 1 table, 10 tables. Okay. In that case, we don't have to import it again and again. You can repeat data set. Which one you want me to repeat data set? Chinaya? Okay, so 1 second, I'll just show you. Okay, I'll just show you. Supposing you have something like this, okay. Here, what I do is, yeah, okay, let me do one thing. Here you cannot do anything, okay. So only thing is, you need to close it and open it. Don't say. I'll just open. Look here, I'm going to open a new Power BI desktop. When you try to import the Power BI data sets, you're not supposed to import any other files. Make sure that before you import Power BI data sets in your desktop, right? Make sure that you don't have any other data you got imported. So if you had already imported any other data sets, along with that, if you want to import this one, you cannot do it. It will not allow you to combine these 2 things. Now my Power BI desktop is empty. Look here, I don't have any columns in the fields pane. I don't see any columns, any file. Right? In that case, what I do is, see here, we don't have anything. So my manager already told me, hey, you guys need to use the one which is on the cloud, right? You need to download that one to develop the reports. Commonly, we have created the data model. This same data model can be used by all the developers. Look here, this is the one already we developed it. So we can find the, there's a refresh, right? So we can do the data refresh also. When you select it there on cloud, it will take some time to get loaded here. Look here, it takes some time working on it. It will take some time to import from cloud to your local desktop. Look here, now it got imported, right? So when you go here, you cannot delete this one from this model. See, you don't have delete option, and also you cannot make any changes to it. Okay. So you can select and collapse, expand. That's all. You can, whichever column that you need, you should be able to select. For example, I just want to create a visual bar plot. Here, if I want to put sales and COGS, I can simply drag and drop. That's all. You can, right? You see here in this case, when you use Power BI data sets, the data window is with data view is not available. If you want to see the data, you just see it from here itself. For example, you just go to the format. In the format, you have something called data label. Just enable it. So you have 24 million, 25 million, 20 million, right? So likewise, you can view the data. Okay. So that is one kind of disadvantage. You cannot view the data. But the only thing is when you go here, you can write, you can create a measure, everything you can do it here. So here, in this case, look here, even the transform data is also not available. See, all the things they have already transformed it. Everything is there. The data is clean, and they kept only the columns that are relevant to you with this project. Though 5 people work on this project, they made sure that they kept all the relevant things. See, when I select the data source settings, right, it shows my cloud data. So this in the cloud, whatever we hosted, we can see here. So even when you select this one, you can see the details and related reports of this. See, this is basically, this I can tell this is the data, right? Database or data. So that is basically a data, which is part of my, this dashboard, which does for day to finance dashboard. If you want to see what data are, right, what reports are related to this one, when you click on that, it will take you to this screen. And here you need to have the Microsoft Authenticator wrapper. You need to go and install it. When time permits, look here, Microsoft Authenticator. Go to Play Store and install it. Very simple one. You can also do it now side by side in your mobile phone. You can use the Microsoft Authenticator. Go to Play Store and type Microsoft space Authenticator. See, now I authenticated from my mobile. Now I should be able to see the dashboard or report which I created for that thing. So visualize this data. If you click visualize this data, if you want to create new one, you can create it. Look here. So this is the report, right? This is what is the type, right? This file is the report type, and it is available in my workspace, and unique users and views. Currently, it is not there. Okay, because I'm the only person who keep accessing it. Hence, it is not showing the unique views or number of views. And when you select this one, it will show you the dashboard also, the corresponding dashboard for that data set. Data set name also data to fin dashboard. So you don't have to create this data separately. The data, see, when you publish this dashboard, for example, this is what my dashboard, 1 second. So this is what my report, let's say, if I wanted to publish it, I can publish it. That's all. Let's say you have imported this file from your local laptop, right? The Excel file, everything. When you store it, the data gets stored in the Power BI model itself. In the Power BI model, the data gets stored. Okay. Data model. This is called data model. Okay. In the interview, they'll ask you, let's say you imported all the files and then you start develop the dashboard or reports. Once you are done with this, let's say you saved this file. Okay, where the data, whatever the changes, some columns you removed, some columns you created newly, and also you have created the reports, you have used various visuals, everything like this, right? So all these things where get stored, right? So the data and all where it gets stored, your data will get stored in your data model. You need to tell this one, okay? Then they'll ask you, once you develop a report, everything, right? So where the data gets stored, the data gets stored in the Power BI data model itself, okay? So since it gets stored inside the Power BI data model itself, right? When you publish it, it will go and hosted on my cloud, app.powerbi.com, okay? But here, according to us, it hosted our report, but behind the scene, it stores the data file. So look here. So share data set. For example, this is my data set, right? For this one, I can share the scene. I can share my file, my report file, .pbx kind of thing, and then I can share the data set relevant to this one also. Okay. Save a copy of this report. You can save a copy also. You can take a copy on your cloud. Okay, so you can save a copy of this one, share data set. So a lot of features are available here. So anyhow, we'll see it later. I'll be discussing about this one also later point in time. Don't worry. But the point is, this one we did not import it from our laptop. Right? This data came from app.powerbi.com cloud. Right? From cloud, we have imported it using Power BI datasets. But what is the prerequisites? In order to import Power BI datasets, you're not supposed to have imported some other data. Okay, this one should be blank. Your desktop should be blank, the Power BI desktop, and then you need to import the Power BI datasets. Only then it will start imported from the cloud. The advantage of this one is only a single person will have a control on this one. If he wants to add or delete a column, rename a column, or probably deact the relationship, create a new relationship, everything can be done by a single person, so that there will not be any confusion. Like a chief minister, right? In Tamil Nadu, only one chief minister. Why can't they have multiple chief ministers? State-wise, every district-wise, they can have chief minister, right? They won't have a single control. So too many cook spoil the broth, right? So so they will have similarly here also. Once you develop the model, so tomorrow later point in time, we cannot find out who made what change. If we allow everyone to make changes, we do not know, right? That's the reason why they won't have centralized control. But again, it is a reusable. You can reuse the same data set for different reports. So provided that all the other reports, whatever you develop it, the columns and data that are relevant to the new reports should also depend on this one. So that's how they logically created. Okay. Anyhow, don't worry. So this is one of the example for reusability. Okay. The interview, they expect you, this one. So how many number of reusability that you have developed it, right? So along with the data model designer, we have created this one, and then we use PBI, Power BI data sets. So this is one way of importing the data. Supposing they say, no, we don't have anything. You need to start everything from the scratch. And that too, my data is sitting on Dataverse. What is Dataverse? So this is the Microsoft's cloud, okay, cloud storage. Once you, this is what I was trying to show you a demo, but I made a mistake. Later I realized, Power apps dot. So we have something called common data source. The common data source, we are supposed to specify the URL to connect to the Power Apps. Power Apps, the database is in simple term, it is Microsoft's cloud-based storage, wherein you can store the data, and you can also download the data which were already stored on cloud. Okay, this is another cloud, okay, Power Apps cloud. And see, look here, I just selected Power Database. And you can also, what you do, right? You can go and create a username and you can go and register so that you will get login credentials like username and password. And then you just log in and check everything is fine. Once you are able to log in successfully, then you are all set. Then you need to, slightly, if you look down here, you will find database. And just beneath this, you will find something like tables. So these are the tables already created by someone else. We don't have to worry about this. And now the question is, if I want to create a new table, say, look here, I want to create my own new table. You can click the plus sign, the new table. You can specify all the name, primary, name of the column, all the things. Okay, you can specify everything. And any of this one, we will see it later. Okay, so these tables are already available. Okay, and look here, if I select data here and get data, or let me see. Okay, these are the tables. Okay, account is a table, address is an appointment. These are all tables. Okay, I just want to select account table. So here we have multiple options are available. In the account table, what you want to do? You want to see the columns, you want to see the relationship, all the things. All I wanted to see is the data here. So what data it has in it? Look here, these are the data. The account name is this one, and phone number, city, primary contact, all these data are available. So this table, right? This table data, account data, I wanted to import it in my Power BI desktop. Okay. So here what it is, once you connect here successfully, you just select this one, session details. You will find something called instance. Sorry, I just recording enable it. So here, in this case, anyhow, don't worry here, even the cloud also, the recording is going on. So the instance URL, you'll find something called instance URL. You need to select only this one. Okay, and then copy it. And then you just come back here. I'll just redo it once again. Look here. So you have some database, or you can go to get data. Same thing, we'll find it here also, the database. Now I just copy paste this one URL, excluding HTTPS and the forward slash, right? Just click OK, and you need to wait for some time. Look here, it is opening now. The other day it was throwing an error, right? Unable to create something like that. Unable to connect. Yes. Look here, I am going to select the first table. These are all the tables that are available. Which all tables that you wanted, you can go and select it. So at this moment, for learning purpose, I just selected account table. Now the preview is evaluating. Let us wait for a few moments until this data get loaded. So this is how you need to tell your employer at the time of interview that you worked on reusable, you developed a couple of reusable components like Power BI data sets, and or this one, the functions. We created some custom functions, and also we have worked on. We have used Dataverse to import the data. Okay, so that's it. Connecting to a CSV file, importing it, it is not a big deal, right? So they wanted to know how in depth, how wide right? So knowing in depth is also not sufficient. How wide Did you work on Microsoft Dynamics, or did you work on cloud, any other cloud, CRM, Salesforce? They expect you to be versatile. That's the reason why they pay more salary. Look here, these are the data that are available in my account table. So my account table is available on Power Apps. In the Power Apps, you have something called database. That is where the account table is located. And this data, I wanted to import it here. I just click load. Look here on the right side, you will find account table shortly. It's trying to import account table from the Dataverse cloud. Dataverse cloud is the secured storage place wherein you can store the data there. Supposing you want your data to be accessed, your employees, those are located across the globe. You can post you can upload it, something like Google Sheet. How many of you used, how many of you are using Google Sheet? In the case of Google Sheet, we go and upload or put some status, everything there. And then we will share the link to all our team members so that they don't need an attachment from your site. Simply with the URL, whatever you shared it with them, they go there and they can log in with their credentials and they can see the Excel file there. Okay, Excel file data, Google Sheet. Similarly, here also, right? Dataverse. Here you can create the tables. Look here, the account table got imported. So many columns are there. My God. Right. So likewise, the point here is you should tell them that you worked on a variety of source system like Power BI data sets, and you worked on Dataverse, and you worked on many other things. We will discuss about Parquet and all later point in. That is also another source file. Okay. Fine. So now you learned how to import the data from Dataverse. Dataverse is nothing but the Microsoft cloud-based storage system, wherein you can store all the data file there or in the form of table or so. And if you wanted to access them, you can use the API to access them. So here, when I click Dataverse, and then here, when I type the URL kind of thing, right? So the domain name, this is a domain name. If you have HTTP, then it is called URL. I removed the HTTP and this is a domain name, okay, environment domain. When I click OK, it connects to my Power Apps thing. Where here, right? It connects here, and this account table got imported in my local desktop. Power BI desktop. See, it will take some time to import it here. And then with this, you can generate some reports. In real-time scenario, so this just for an example, I told you, okay, tables account. So in real time, they would have created some other tables here, and then they would have loaded the data also. What you need to do is you need to go ahead and connect to the powerapps.com, and from here you will find the tables, right? In the tables folder, you can find whatever tables you created it, you can import it here. The advantage of keeping the tables on cloud is anybody across the world can access anytime without depending on you. So there is no dependency, not much dependency. And we have something called Azure Synapse Link. Likewise, many things other. Let's not worry about all these things. Okay. Now at present, you learn how to connect to Dataverse and import the file and Power BI data sets also. And also you learned JSON, right? How to import the JSON file and work with that. So next, what we will do is we will learn some other new things today. Okay, let us use the same thing here. Fine. So here what I am going to see already account, calendar, and sales W04 files are there. This sales W04, this is nothing but the Excel file. I imported it. How I imported it? The get data Excel workbook. Just go to your folder. My folder name is dat1. Inside this dat1 folder, I kept the sales W01, 04, 04. W04.csv. I imported it. Okay, good. So this table has columns in it. Calendar is not a physical table. It is kind of a virtual table. We created the calendar table using DAX function. Okay, I'm going to discuss this one in detail when I start the DAX topic. DAX is an important topic in Power BI. We'll discuss it later. Okay. Sales W04. So now what I do is I just go to the home page and I want to do some kind of data transformation. Click transform. So only sales W04 is there. Okay, I can see the column return of the table was not found. Okay, go to error. And what I do is I'm getting some error here. I just click source file here. The source, and just against this one gear icon is there. When I selected this, I could see the dat1 folder says W04. Okay, the path is correct. CSV document, fine. File origin, line breaks, apply all line breaks, delimiter, comma, everything is okay. Fine. I just click OK. Now that error is still there, but it is not stopping me to proceed further. Look here, when you look at this data set, row ID, order date, the first row starts with the column name. Actually, these column names are supposed to be row ID, order date, ship mode, customer name. The first row supposed to be there here, right? This is the one is the column name, but unfortunately, it is not there here. Okay, so but it is available in the second row only. In our case, which is the row number 1. So what I do is I just go to transform, and here we are saying use first row as headers. So you have an option, use headers as first row, use first row as headers. Okay, so what I do is I just select use first row, the first row as headers. Okay, here it is asking me more my confirmation. Insert a new step. Yes, insert. Look here, became a column now. And the first row became the column headers. Okay, this is one kind of transformation we did it. Next one, we will just take a look at my data set and see data type, everything. As usual, the same problem, right? In the case of sales, it stored the sales in the form of text format, ABC. Similarly, quantity also got stored as a text data type. So what I do is I just select this one and then I select whole number. I'll convert this a numerical data type, especially the decimal data type. And here the sales, even the case of sales, what I will do is I just see here dollar is there. So this I already did it, but that file is not, I did not open that file. Okay, dollar, wherever dollar is there, replace with nothing. So the dollar will be replaced by nothing, right? So the empty string or something like that. And also we have something like NA here. So what I do is I just click in them. Don't click here and here if you wanted to do some kind of data transformation like this. Okay, just select in the middle of this one. You will find something. Replace values. Value to find, I just type NA and replace with 0. You are done with this. So wherever the NA was, it got replaced as 0. Fine. So what is the big deal? So this is the one we already did it in the previous session. Why are we doing it again? We did not store it earlier, right? So now I just store it again. Okay, close it. So that's not a problem. You have some column name is missing. So because of the steps, right? It is maintaining somewhere there that. Apply changes. Okay. It will take some time. And next, what we will do is we'll take a look at this one, the custom column, how to create a custom column, and then how to create a custom function. Okay. It takes some time. Let's wait for some time. I don't know why it takes longer time. Yeah, it got loaded, but still it says the changes are applied. Let's wait for some time. or else I'll just close this one. It seems it is hanging. Let's go to, but just because I do it, don't do it, okay? Unless it is emergency, you can do it. Otherwise, don't do it. Okay, PowerPoint, Power BI. Yes, it got closed, and I just go ahead and open it. Power BI desktop. So what we will do is we are going to see how to create a custom function now. Okay, how to create a column, new column. You know very well. Already we discussed it. How to create a custom column. Custom column. Any of in the interest of you people, I'll just show you one more time because you are all freshers. Transform data. I just selected transform data. This is what the query editor. And when you select the transform button in the home page, right, home ribbon, it will take you here. This is what your Power Query editor. Here you will find something called add column. Okay, here what I do is, in this case, return of the table, I go to error and I just go ahead and select this one. Okay, so that is not there. Okay, so in the add column, you will find custom column. In the last session, we discussed column from examples, how to create a new column. Hey man, whatever I applied it, right, the changes it was not reflected since it was hanging for a longer time. So anyhow, not a problem. I'll just go here and I use first row as it is. Insert as a new, see, look here, it inserted this one, and fine. So the next step is, let's go one by one, close and apply. I want to apply this change. Okay, fine. So why this one is causing auto recovery contains some record files, view record files. Somehow that column got deleted and it kept on saying that row ID is missing. So 1 second. Okay, in the meanwhile, I just go here. And see what is the problem with row. Row.id is available here. Somehow, 1 second, removed. Can we see remove errors? Row ID of the table was not found. Go to error. Let me do one thing, remove errors, I remove it, change it, replace value, change it, and promote headers. Change it. This is where some problem is happening. I just remove this step also. Everywhere it is causing a problem. Yeah, because the file, whatever I have it, right? I removed it. It seems that's the reason why it is causing. Okay, it's already there. And oh, it is having some kind of clash. Okay, next what I do is I just go here and we'll just do a simple test and right click and replace values $by nothing, and then still this one I remove the dollar, and then what it is change type, I just change the decimal number. Okay, now let me go here. Yeah, that error got vanished, right? Okay, somewhere in between the steps got moved. Okay, and now I just change the type. I change it here, and this error, what I just right click, replace errors by 0. Wherever the errors are there, 0. Now on the safer side, I just go to the file and apply this. Whatever the change I made it on this one, right? So they blocked by some other error I'm getting it. Creating connection model. Yeah, now it is perfect. Okay, that issue got resolved. And what, so I just refresh this one, refresh this one. In case of any error in your data or something, right, it will affect your visuals. It will become blank, okay, something like that. So now you need to fix this, right? So click the fix this button. Now it's fine. So we were having some data transformation problem, the sequence, okay. I removed it. After I removed this, I was able to overcome that issue. Now this is what I want to show you. Actually, I came here to show you how to create a custom column and how to create custom function. Look here, I just go to custom column. I want to create a new column in addition to the existing columns. How do I do that? Let's say I'm going to say revenue column. Okay, revenue column. Here I say here something like quantity into, do we have price here? I don't know if we have price here. Or you just think this, quantity in sales, okay? This kind of price, you just assume that way, okay, for demo purpose, okay? I just click OK. See, quantity into price, that is the one. Let's assume that's my revenue, okay? Just think that way. Because here we don't have the cost price. Why I'm getting error here? Data type problem. Look here, sales is, yeah, okay, quantity, right? So quantity is a text data type. See, ABC means text data type. So you keep the cursor in the middle of this one, okay? And then what you go to change type and then make it decimal number. Okay, now if you scroll on the right side, still that issue is there, right? Revenue. And what we will do is we cannot operate for both text and number. This error is still there. I just revoke this one again. And what I do is I just refresh this. I just go to home ribbon and then using a refresh preview. I change the data type, but still it is not taking into account of that one. So what you do is just select this column, revenue. One second. Best thing, I just remove this column. Now let's go to add column, custom column. Insert a step. Yes, insert a new step. Let it be there. And here I just create revenue to, I don't know why this revenue is still there. Okay, I should have removed it first. That's why you need to do it proper order. Okay, if you don't do it in the proper order, the steps will get applied in different way. Okay, sometimes, 2 times it will apply. Yeah, quantity into sales. You just type this one. Look here, you get sales here, right? So this is the one. Revenue to, I just create revenue. Look here, the revenue to column got created successfully. So what is this revenue? This one, you have to remove it. Okay. If you don't remove it, you will get error like how we got it earlier. Row ID was missing something. The proper order should be maintained. Okay, the steps. And always make sure that you keep the cursor here. Okay, whenever you do any transformation, so what is the transformation? In this case, I created a new column. How I create the new column? Based on the existing column. What are the existing columns? The quantity and sales. I multiply the quantity by the sales value. Where is the sales? Yeah, this is the sales, right? Quantity into sales. That is the one. Give me this one. Okay, some number. Okay, let's say now I assume that this is my revenue. So this is how you can create a new column using the custom column. The Power Query editor itself. In the Power Query editor itself, you can create a new column. Custom column using custom. See, this is my Power Query editor, right? Inside the Power Query editor, you can create a new column in your existing thing. Okay. Okay. The next one is we learned about how to create the conditional column also in the last session. You can watch my video, and we have discussed about column from examples also, and now we have seen it one more time. Custom column. Next one is how to create a function. Okay, I just, right before I go here, I just right click here. Look here, the Power Query editor on the just beneath this query is right. Empty place, I just right click, new query, and I'm going to select the blank query. Here, I'll be writing equal sign, sales as something, okay. This is my column name as number. Number is the data type, number numerical value. And for example, something, okay, quantity as number. Okay, and in the end, what I do is I just do something in the sales into into 0.12. So what I do is I just pass 2 argument here, okay, and here sales and quantity. I pass these 2 argument, and then on the right side, this is the formula. Okay, in this formula, you pass the value sales and quantity, but here I did not use quantity, or let's say quantity into 0.0, something like that. Okay, you just think that this is some formula. Let's say your manager is given you some formula, right? Those people purchased more than 5,000 rupees, we can give them 100 reward points. You just think that way. This is the formula given by my manager. So this formula takes into account of this one. Okay, those employees, those customers purchased, right? The sales, right? Those customer sales is more than 5,000. let's give some 0.12 multiple. This is my reward points. Okay. Based on this, I'm going to give the reward points, and more the quantity, more the reward points. You will get it. Okay. Fine. So here just some values are given here just to test whether this function is going to work or not. Here I just enter something like 500. Quantity is, let's say, 6, and invoke. See, this 500 will get substitute here, okay, in the sales, and the 6 will go and replaced here. 500 into 6 into 0.2. Okay. So if I click invoke, it executes that expression and gives me 360. Okay, now the function is working fine. Okay, the next step is what I need to do is I'll just go here. Don't worry, what I'm doing it, I'll explain you shortly. Okay, I just go to add column. We are yet to see this one, right? It's invoke custom column. I'm going to invoke this function, query one. So I just call this as something like offer, right? Offer value. It's something you want to do something like if the customer purchased more than 5,000 rupees, then we need to give some points, reward points. See here, sales. See, notice here my sales, whatever the sales variable name that I used it is in small letter. But here it is not. The first letter is a capitalized one, right? So the first letter is capital letter. This is the actual column name, and quantity is here I'm going to select column name. So basically I'm mapping the quantity with the quantity argument and sales with the sales argument. Okay. Just watch what I do. I'll explain you everything. Value, click OK. Look here, a new column got created, offer value. I created a function and I invoked that function in a new column. So based on the calculations that I used it in my query, right, it took each and every value, sales into quantity into 0.02. This is my offer value or reward points. We can say reward points. So let me just rename this one, reward points. Let's say you want to calculate the reward points. These are the reward points, you computed it. Okay. So now I go back here. I'll first of all explain what the hell this one is, right? Your worry is this one. What is this? So what I will do is I'll just copy paste it in a notepad and I'll explain you. So this is called a function in Power BI, especially in Power Query Editor. This is how you can create a function. This is called argument one, or this is syntax. Okay, argument one as data type, comma argument 2 as data type. So in my case, what is argument 1? Sales. Argument 2 is quantity. And this is a data type, unit specifier, right? Number, yes, a number, text, data type is there. But here in this case, we are dealing with number. We are taking these two values and then we are multiply sales into quantity into 0.0, some formula. Okay. The idea is, okay, sales value will go to sales, quantity value will go to quantity. Okay. Okay. Now again, you have some confusion. So what is this equal sign? Why parenthesis? What is this notation, right? So this is nothing but your function in Power BI. This function, right? So inside this function, the function body is this one. This is the function and the function argument, and the function body is this one. So this one in turn will return some value. That one will be assigned to the left side one. Okay, equal sign, right? Okay, first of all, what is a function? Function is a reusable program. Okay, reusable code or a reusable code. Function is a reusable code. What do you mean by reusable code? What do you mean by reusable code? One simple example, I just muted. And the ladies, what they do, right? During Diwali, they prepare some sweets, right? For that, what they do is they use the jaggery. The jaggery, they melt it and then they mix with something, right? Some rice powder, and then they keep it. So because of festival, they are supposed to prepare many items. What they do is only some amount of I don't know in Kannada, what do they say? Adirasam. Lavanya, correct me if my language, Adirasam. Diwali, they do the sweet, right? The round shaped one, plate kind of thing, right? You take the dough and then you take the jaggery and mix it, and then you prepare adirasam, kajayam. They say kajayam or adirasam. Okay, so that is the one you prepare it. Yes, kajaya. Kajaya. Very good, right? The kajaya, what you do is because of time limit, because festival day you need to prepare many sweets. What you do, kajaya, you prepare the adirasam, you prepare less amount, less quantity, right? Let's say, in the thing, right, you just want to prepare only 10 quantity, right? You don't want to have more than 10 because you don't have time. So what you do is the leftover dough is there, right? That pindi, mavu, you keep it in your fridge, right? You actually you prepared more, you put more rice and more rice powder and jaggery, and you mixed it. Because of time limitation, what you take only small portion of that one, and then you prepare 10 kajaya or 10 adirasam, right? So remaining dough, what you do is you keep it in fridge, right? So this one, whatever you keep it in fridge, that is reusable. You can reuse it tomorrow also, right? So prepare once and reuse it many times. Use it many times. Create once and use it many times. Okay, I will enable, maybe it's a stupid example, okay, but any layman can understand with this one. Okay, I'll just enable the recording now. The same way, the idea of the function is create once, use it many times, right? Use it many times. Create once and use it many times. That's the whole idea. For example, in my company, I have 2 lakh employees are there. In TCS, my ex-company, 5 lakhs employees are there. 5 lakhs employees are there. And let's say in the Excel sheet, or you are supposed to find out their gross salary or net salary. You need to compute the net salary. So you have some formula given. So how will you find out how to find out each employee's net salary? Because every month the net salary vary from one employee to another employee. Right? For example, your basic is fixed, plus HRA is also fixed, but loss of pay, right? Sometimes, let's say you are taking leave off late more frequently, right? So loss of pay. The loss of pay vary from one year. Some employees, they may not take leave. Some employees, they may take leave. But end of the day, I need to make sure that as a company, the loss of pay should also get deducted from their earnings, right? So after deducting loss of pay, what is the net salary? I need to pay it to my employee. So this is the formula, simple formula, basic plus HRA minus LOP. This is my net salary. So this formula, I need to use it for each and every employee. In program, if I copy it, this for each and every employee 5 lakhs time, what will happen? It takes a lot of time. 5 lakh employees, you need to copy paste this formula to get the net salary. Lavanya, okay? It's a painful thing, right? So what she is doing it, she is a smart person. Instead of doing this way, she is using a function. Hey, put this in a function. I'm going to create a function like this, okay? So this is what my function. Here I rewrite the same function for you to understand quickly, okay? Non-programmers, okay? Here basic is a number data type, isn't it? HRA is also a number data type. And what you do is here you need to specify all the variables here, okay? Which you are using it in your expression. On the right side, what we use this formula, simply use the copy paste this form. This is called, I call this an expression or statement. So what it says is automatically this function, what it does is, right? See, in our case, we have invoked this function. 1 second. This is my Power Query editor, right? So yeah, so here, look here, if I go here, you just think this is, instead of reward point, this is my what? Invoked custom function. Yeah, this is the one will show the thing, right? It is not showing the formula here. Anyhow, see, this is the one, right? Instead of offer value or this one, right? You say net salary. See, you have created the formula, but you need to specify this formula has to be called each and every employee, right? So what you need to specify your function name. Your function name is net salary, or the column name is net salary. I want to create a new column net salary based on this formula. Lavanya, are you able to understand? I want to calculate net salary for each and every employee. Hence, I call a new column. I want to create a new column I need to create a new column by the name of net salary. But in this column, this formula has to be applied. Which formula? This formula, net salary formula. This is nothing but function. Instead of saying formula, the query one is nothing but this function. This function, what it does is it picks up the basic from your other column, existing column. Okay, it picks up the salary, basic. See, basic, HRA, LOP, all these detail are even existing data set. So take these three data set, these three values as an argument, and then pass this to my statement. So for my formula in this case, right? So the basic will be picked up from your Excel sheet. It will be substituted here for each and every employee, right? First employee, let's say the basic is 1,000, HR is 10,000, or let's say 10,000, 10,000, 20,000. Loss of pay is 1,000, 19,000. This is for first employee in your Excel sheet. Second employee in your Excel sheet, it will automatically pick up the second employee's basic, HRA, LOP, and then it will compute the net salary for the second employee. Likewise, all the 2 lakh employees, right? It will compute automatically. All you need to do is just say only one time, hey, which function you need to use it. You need to use my function name. You mentioned it, query one, right? Query one is my function name, or you can specify some meaningful name. Okay, net query function, net salary function, something like that. Okay. So, but here I have given query one. You can give any name, okay? Whatever name you want, a meaningful name, you need to give it, okay? In this case, I have given query one. What you are doing here is, in the invoke custom column function, 1 second, in the invoke custom column function, you have something invoke custom column function. Here, you need to say what is the new column that I want to create, what I want to create. I want to find out the net salary. Okay, create a column which will hold the net salary. For that, which function you need to call? So in our plain language, right? So we need to use this formula, right? Use this formula for each and every employee to compute the net salary. For each and every employee's net salary to compute it, use this formula. That's it. One-time job, right? You just specify the new column name, some meaningful name, net salary. And then here, which formula you want to use it? This is what I created it here. Without fail, what you do is once you go home, sorry, if you are outside, right? Or I guess most of you are doing work from home. What you do is, right, after this session, you try the same thing. Very simple one. I did not use any complex function. This is the one. So for this, to create this, you need to go to the Power Query editor. And in the Power Query editor, the empty place, right click, new query, click blank query. Inside the blank query, you need to type everything. Make sure that you are not here. You use small yes, say small letter, and whatever the letter that you need to use the same thing. Don't use capital letter here. Okay, then it will throw an error. And any spelling, look here, spelling mistake. Don't make any spelling mistake, and also it is case sensitive. Okay, simply follow whatever the case that you here. Everything is lowercase. Here also lowercase. Everything lowercase. Here you don't do anything. Okay, here you don't do anything. This is just to check whether this function is working correctly or not before I apply in my custom invoke function, right? I just want to check. For example, sales is this one, quantity is 10, and just want to check whether the function, in case of any syntax, it will throw an error. So then what you do is you go back and fix that error here itself. In our case, no error. So what I did, I just simply went to I just clicked sales W04. This is the data set. I want to apply that formula. So in my case, my manager told, hey, for the reward points, you need to use so and so formula, right? So for that formula only, whatever the formula which I got from, I created. My manager gave me only this formula, but these are the additional steps as a Power BI developer. Your manager, he does not know this Power BI syntax. Okay, these are nothing but arguments. These are nothing but arguments. Take the arguments from an existing data set, and these arguments are number data type. And then inside the parenthesis, you need to use, this is called parenthesis, closed parenthesis, open parenthesis, right? And here the equal sign is important. This is a syntax, this is specific to Power BI, okay? So whichever column that you use it, the numeric variable, you need to specify along with the data type, and then use this equal and greater than sign. Okay, if you use equal sign, it'll throw an error. Okay, so pass this values. It means, right, pass these two values to this formula. Okay, so where these values comes from, from your data set. You already have sales and quantity, right? So it will pick up from there. Got it. So now the question is, Satya, I have used small letter. You said it's case sensitive, but how will my Power BI know? I have many columns are there. Which column is sales? Which column is how will it be knowing it? So for that only, when we do did you notice that here, right? In the case of invoke custom column, here, see, let's say net salary something, right? So here, I just use this one. I use this one. Here, small sales, small quantities. There is, hey, this has to be mapped with my data set column sales. Otherwise, how Power BI will know? According to Power BI, this sales is different from this sales because here all are small letter. But here, except see, only the first letter is the capital letter, right? You need to map this one here. And here you can select the column name. On the right side, you need in the drill down box, you need to use the quantity. Got it? So pick up the sales from this column and pass it as an argument to this variable. Pick up the value from quantity variable, which is in my data set, and pass this value to a variable called quantity. These two are nothing but argument. From here, you pass it to from here, right? You basic and look here, the sales, and in this case, right, basic is nothing but sales, and quantity is nothing but your HRE. Okay, so pass this, and you mentioned the formula, right? Sales into 0.12. So that is the one will compute the reward points for each and every customer. Reward points values of the reward points will vary from person to person, but to arrive the reward points, you have a single or only one formula, right? That formula may be a 2-line formula or 3-line formula, or sometimes it's a 1-line formula. But end of the day, this formula 2-line or 3-line is applicable for all the employees. That's why I said function. We use function to create it once and use it many times. Wherever you want to apply the same logic in your program multiple times, don't copy paste multiple times, right? Simply use it once and create. I invoke it many times, use it many times. Create once, use it many times. It's something like in chapati, right? You prepared more dough, but you cannot prepare 100 chapatis or 20 chapatis over the night, right? So you want to maximum prepare 10 chapatis. So what you do is, right, you knew very well, you put more dough, right? So what you do is you only use the 50% of the dough to prepare the chapati, and remaining dough you keep it in the fridge, that you can use it for tomorrow. So create once and use it many times, right? The same analogy is applicable here also in the function, okay? But function, we use all these terms, okay? And since you people are new into programming, I explained you this much, but going forward, you need to, if I say function, you need to understand quickly. I'll give you some assignments for functions also sometime on this Monday, okay? Only this weekend you allow me. I have some other commitment, okay? So Monday also, Monday we'll spend 2 hours time. Don't miss out. I'll give you assignments, and in class assignments you do it, okay? 1 or 2 assignments you can do it, and rest of them you do it during your spare time, okay? Night time or morning time, whenever you have free time, you do it, and then you come back with some questions in case you have any issues. That one will help you to understand how to use function, okay? So now you learned about how to invoke custom function, and also how to create a new column based on the existing column. For that we use custom column, right? And then column from examples, okay? So this also we learned it in the past. And we have something called conditional column. Conditional column is based on some condition. For example, you wanted to create a column, right? Something like interval, age group. You want to create an age group, right? You want to do some kind of analysis in which age group of people are more likely to purchase so and so items. You want to do some kind of analysis. In that case, you have the age column in your data set. What you do is you find out if the age is between so and so, then they are teenagers. If the age is between so and so, that means they are young age, and then middle age, and then old age, something like that. Okay, you create it. With that, you should be able to classify which age group of people purchased what, and what is their purchase behavior, right? So that kind of analysis you can do it, okay? So for that purpose, we use conditional column. Index column, duplicate column, as the name says. If you want to duplicate, click this, the same column will get duplicated. Index column, we'll discuss it later, okay? And then we have something called format. So for example, you have some text column, right? In this case, we don't have any text column, right? If you want to convert, for example, we have CA and all is there, right? You want to convert this as a lowercase instead of capital CA, right? You want to see order period. Everything is, I just select this one and then go to format and then click lowercase. Everything will become lowercase. Look here, everything became lowercase. But it created a new column. It did not disturb the existing one. It created a new column. Okay. Or you don't want the lower column, all the first letter should be in the capital letter. Go to format and click the capitalize each word. Only the first, look here, only the first letter become capital letter. And again, you just play around like this, okay? Uppercase. You want to create everything, convert everything uppercase. You can do it. Okay, format. And trim will trim any leading blank space, right? And then any trailing blank space, it will remove it. And then clean. Okay, I don't want to apply anything. Okay, I want to revert back. You can clean it. Add prefix. Suppose you have a person name and you want to put Mr., right? It will help you to create a prefix, and if you want to add some suffix, you can do it with this format. Fine. So, okay, with this, I'm going to wrap up. Okay, since today being is a Friday, right? A lot of calls are there. I need to submit status report. We have a weekly status call also. What you just, I'll upload this video. You just start watch this one. And what I do is I will share this PBAX file also to your WhatsApp number. You can download it from your WhatsApp number, or you can forward it to your Google Gmail ID. And then from your laptop, you can download it. And also I'll upload it in GitHub. Okay. So if you want to download from there, I will leave it to you. Okay. You can download it from there and open it and then see what and all I did it. Try to do the same thing on your own. Okay. But practice it this weekend also. Saturday, Sunday, practice. Okay. I'll see to that if I can give any assignments, right? I'll send it probably later or sometime tomorrow morning. Okay. You can start practice it. All right. Yeah. Any questions so far? Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'll be ending the session now. We'll share the video probably. You will be receiving it after 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay.